So I just finished watching the eighth episode of One Piece and the end to this little Buggy arc, essentially. And this episode had a flashback between Buggy and Shanks, and essentially explained why Buggy doesn't like Shanks. And his logic is a bit backwards. Shanks actually saved him, believe it or not. Well, essentially, Buggy ended up eating a devil fruit by accident, which causes you to drown. I thought that was just the gum gum fruit, but it's every devil fruit. And since there was a bunch of treasure at the bottom of the ocean that Buggy wanted, because he ate that fruit and Shanks caused that to happen, he blames Shanks for basically losing all that money and delaying his pirate dream for 10 years, even though Shanks did literally save his life afterwards. I can see why he's upset, but at the same time, like, it is sort of his own fault. So that's it. Shanks didn't really do anything terrible. I don't know. Maybe I thought Shanks maybe did something actually heinous to him, but I don't think that's the case. I think Shanks is genuinely a good dude, and Buggy's just bitter. Um, but seeing Buggy get beaten up by Luffy, launched a million miles into space, and be chopped up into a bunch of little pieces, as morbid as that sounds, it was hilarious. He's turned into like this little guy that's just a head and legs because Nami tied up all of his other body parts so he couldn't like regenerate, and now he's just this little dude that got launched by Luffy at the end, which was just fucking hilarious. I can't lie, and very satisfying to see considering the hell that he put this town through. Speaking of the town, it was a very wholesome moment where the townsfolk came back and they saw the mayor unconscious, and they saw Luffy, and obviously Luffy's the one that knocked him out basically to save his life, but they all sort of like attacked him and chased Luffy because this town obviously cares a lot about its mayor and its citizens and the town itself. Like, it's their treasure, you know. So I thought that was very wholesome. And the fact Luffy sort of acknowledged that shows he's very switched on, you know. He knows the town is actually a really good town. The fact that they're willing to do that. And he said, no matter what I say, they'll be upset with me. So Luffy's obviously a very smart character. He's not stupid. Do you know what I mean? There was also a great little moment where they're running away from the townsfolk and Shushu's there protecting them, which I just thought was great. So a really nice callback to the last couple episodes. I love that dog, bro. Like, and the fact he was protecting Luffy and Nami and Zoro because they helped him, I thought was just great. But I really like this idea that Luffy's crew is basically going from like town to town, like different islands, saving these people, these villages, these, you know, people in need essentially, but not even doing it on purpose. They're just basically doing what they think's right. And you know, Luffy's still just trying to collect crew members and stuff like that, but along the way they're saving these villages and these characters and, you know, Shushu and doing all that sort of stuff. While also, you know, working towards their goals. I think it's really well written. And just the idea of them going from island to island, it reminds me of Wind Waker a little bit, which I really enjoy too. And at the end of the episode, the mayor runs up to the port and thanks Luffy and the whole crew basically for saving him and the town. And there's a moment where basically Nami's like, where's the rest of the treasure? And Luffy actually left half of it for the town to help rebuild the town. So he's actually a really good dude, you know. It doesn't surprise me. I thought Luffy might be a nice guy, but he's really like thoughtful and switched on, you know. He's not just doing things for the sake of it. He's obviously knows what he's doing, do you know what I mean? And he has a good heart. Which was nice to see. And Nami is now officially the navigator. Although she's not technically a pirate, she's refusing to become a pirate. She's part of the crew now. So they have a navigator, they have a swordsman, and they have Luffy. So the crew's growing, and now they have a big ship as well. It has Buggy's logo on it, but I'm sure they can sort that. But yeah, they've got a navigator, they got some money, they've beaten up a clown, they've saved the town. What more do you need, really? So, but yeah, I really enjoyed this little Buggy arc, and I'm excited for the next one. So let's do it.